Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do another 3 Looks 1 palette with the LA Girl Main Stage Desert Dream palette. This palette normally sells for $15, but you can get it on sale, and it still currently is on sale at Ulta for less than $10. This palette is so beautiful. The quality is so good for the price point. I was very pleasantly surprised. I don't understand the name of this palette because it's like a pastel and dark palette mixed into one, which is beautiful. I love the combination of colors. It is perfect. But the name, like Desert Dream, I don't see desert in this. Do you? I don't know. I just thought the name was a little bit strange. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the first eye look, which is my favorite eye look. I am using that purple. It's like a grapey, plummy purple. I don't know the names of these shadows. It is written on the back of the palette, but that always confuses me. So I'm just showing you the colors, and those are the colors I'm going to use. I'm not going to use their names. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But yeah, this is my favorite look out of the 3 that I created. You will have to let me know which one your favorite is. It's really interesting to me that your guys' favorites aren't always my favorites. But yeah, anyways, I'm just throwing that all over the lid and winging it out like I do. This shade is so beautiful. It's such a beautiful purple. I think it's like a beautiful cool toned purple, and those are the types of purples that I love. Yeah, so I'm just kind of building it up, and it build like the shadow formula in this palette builds so well. I think it's pigmented, but it's also like really buildable, and I really kind of appreciate that type of formula sometimes. I mean, I kind of really like a lot of formula now, or a lot of pigment that's more so pigment like POW, but this builds so nicely that it doesn't bother me. Now the black is not so much of like a deep dark black, but it is a good deepening up shadow, and I'm glad that they included it. I'm throwing that, you know, in my outer area, as you see, and it builds up fairly black, but it's not like super black, you see, although I am putting it on top of another shadow, you know. And I'm bringing that purple shade down onto my bottom lash line. Yeah, and I took that black all the way out and made kind of like a wing. I mean, you see. And then I take that black again and I throw it down on my bottom lash line with a pencil brush, so it was more precise and not all over the place, because I wanted the purple to still show up. And then you see I took that shimmery shade and I placed it in the center of, you know, where my eyelid is, and it's so pretty. Now I will say that there's 2 different shimmer formulas in here, and the top row is different than the bottom row shimmers that I'm using. They're really good though, they're really beautiful, but those top ones are just like ba-bam, and the light green one down below is also super ba-bam. But yeah, now I'm throwing that one in the inner corner just like that. And this is the finished look. What do you think? I like it. It's a cool toned purpley blue look. It's very me. I liked it. I thought it went with my outfit, and yeah. So that's look number 1, and we're gonna get into look number 2. So for this look, I am going into that green shadow, and I am packing it all over my lid. Now look at how pigmented that is right off the bat. It's super bright, and pastel shades, this is like kind of powdery, but pastel shades are typically powdery, so I'm not disappointed with, you know, the powder that it did have. And that green is so stunning. This palette is so dark and so springy all at the same time. Like, it's such an unusual combination of colors in my eyes, and I didn't think that it looked that unusual until I started playing with it. This look made me feel so springy, like not fall, winter, but very spring-like. And I'm just throwing that green shade all over my lid and all over, like I brought it down on my bottom lash line as well. And then I took that more minty, greeny blue shade and I threw it on, you know, the sides of my eyes. I threw it on the inner side and then my outer side as well, kind of like what you would do in a halo. And again, look at how well these layer. Like, I think that these layer so beautifully, and that's something that I find that not every eyeshadow formula can do. So I really appreciated that about these shadows, to be honest. So now I'm just throwing some glitter glue on the center of my eye, and I'm taking that green shimmer and throwing it on the center. See, that's a little bit more sparkly than the darker shimmers in the palette. I do feel like they're two different formulas, and this is kind of like a creamy formula. Both of them are kind of creamy. They're creamy, kind of putty-ish, but also not putty-ish like. I don't know how to describe the consistency, honestly. But I think that the shimmers are actually fairly beautiful, and I can't believe that this palette is only $15. Okay, like I'm just blown away by that. And I'm taking that like pink shimmer and I'm throwing that on my inner corner. As you see, I threw that lime green shimmer in the center of my eye for kind of a halo effect. And yeah, and then I didn't throw any lashes on, you guys. Aren't you proud? I just used mascara. Woohoo, go me. I was just being super lazy, you guys. It's not that impressive. But yeah, that is the finished look, and I think it's like super springy and light and airy and kind of cute. So here is the third look, and I'm going into that blue, and wow, I did not expect that blue to be so bright and so pigmented right off the bat, and it's much like a sky blue is how I would describe it, and it really wasn't what I was hoping for. So yeah, it's a reminder that this palette is so spring-like, with some other shadows that you can use to make it not springy or Eastery, because this it reminds me of Easter more so than I thought it was going to when I started playing with it, honestly. And yeah, so anyways, I'm just throwing that all over and winging it out, and then I'm taking that mint shade and I'm using it to blend out that blue for a little bit of a gradient. Those two colors together are really beautiful, and I will say that blue is just so stunning, but it wasn't what I was going for, so I took that purple and I added it for another like layer, and then I just decided to start kind of throwing it all over that blue to try to get more of a darker blue that I was going for. And so yeah, I just kind of mixed the two, and again, these shadows layer so nicely. I had no issues with that. Then I took that plummy purple and I threw it down on my bottom lash line, because you know that's what I do. And then I took the black and I created a wing with it. I put it on my bottom lash line first and I kind of winged it out. If you're not very good at doing winged liner, using an eyeshadow is the way to go. It's so forgiving and such a great way to do it. So yeah, I just created a wing, and of course my eye is gonna start watering, so that was kind of infuriating, but it happens. Yeah, I'm just using a pencil brush and creating a winged liner with that shadow, like I said like 1,000 times. I'm so sorry, you guys. But yeah, and I'm not completely in frame because, you know, I suck so bad at filming. But anyways, I'm just kind of bringing that black in a little bit farther, and then I'm going to take that shimmer right there and I'm going to throw it on my center of my eyelid, basically. And I'm just kind of tapping it on, and it is kind of sticky. You see, it's kind of like a cream based, I don't know. It's a putty kind of shimmer. And then I took that purple and layered it on top of that blue because that blue shadow just wasn't what I was going for. And then I took that lighter shadow and I added it on the inner portion of my eyelid. And do you see how much more shimmery that is than the other shimmer that I use? Those top ones, and the green one just has so much more sparkle. But yeah, that is the finished look. What do you think? Do you like it? Let me know. Let me know which one is your favorite. I hope you made it to the end. Thank you for joining me on this palette adventure. See you next time. Bye.